and welcome to Divine Goddess Tarot. I'm Jessica. Welcome back if you are joining us again for another tapping into your goddess energy, as well as God. We don't want to forget that focus. And if you're new here, welcome. What I do is just tap into those feminine and masculine energies, particularly our goddess energy. Our goddess energy, for just a quick rundown, is our power. It's our action. It's the force to take that first step forward in our life and in what we're creating. And the masculine energy, or that God energy, is the direction. What doors do we choose? What doors do we walk through? Our focus, our concentration, our awareness. And so in harmony with those two energies, we create our lives, whether we know it or we don't. And that's why I'm here, is because when we tap into these energies and acknowledge them and know where they're coming from, then we tap into the bottomless wells, the bottomless ocean of those sources. So we're going to get right into it with what goddesses are going to join us today for that power and what messages. Ooh, those two are flying out. I guess that's it. So we've got Sophia and we've got Lilith, and they are divine wisdom and independence. And I love that. And we'll do a shot of these so you can see them a little bit more clearly, so that you can see these beautiful cards. In fact, I'll just hold those up so we can honor them just a little bit better. And we're gonna talk about what these two energies are bringing in for the message today. I'm gonna go into tarot for those of you, of course, that have been joining me and what the messages are. So we're gonna get clarified with a little bit of some energies through that, of telling a little bit of a story. So deep breaths, everyone. We're going to go into this right here. In fact, I'm gonna shuffle this way today. Sometimes it feels more like a north and south movement there. Oh, we've got Three of Wands. So we're setting out on an adventure, it looks like. So we shall see. I'm going to use kind of what I like to use as a little bit of a wheel layout. Oh, we've got a tower moment. So that's good. Some Aquarian energy there. And of course, fire with the wands. So if you are a fire or an Aquarian, we also have Judgment, which there's Gemini. Let's keep going. Let's just see. These two are I'm feeling. We've got the Eight of Wands. We've got the Nine of Pentacles. And we've got the Star. A lot of uprights today. And we've got the Six of Pentacles. Right there. We've got the King of Wands. Wonderful. Fire energy here. Yes, and the moon. All right, I'm loving this. I'm going to clarify the tower just a little bit. Some of you maybe just, we've got the Fool, we've got the Hierophant, we've got the Ten of Swords, we've got Three of Swords in reverse, and then as well as the Four of Swords. So definitely, this is something that for some of you, this tower moment has been either in the past, your life has just kind of turned itself upside down. And with that, that's how we gain wisdom, is through those dark tower moments. I am seeing that some of you are coming out of this. So that's what I'm seeing with also the Three of Wands, that you guys are moving past something. You're about to embark on something new. I love Sophia and Lilith because sometimes when this all happens, we have to go to the independence of ourselves, our own knowing. And so with the Star in the future, like this is for our benefit, this judgment, this resurrection, this coming out of it is definitely, it's going to happen. It's just going to take a little bit of time with this. I love the King of Wands here because he is he is that absolute knowing, that grounding energy, that's going to assist in creating that spark of creation, of knowing that the string in the kite or the balloon, and so that it anchors down these ideas of going forward. Whatever this is for you, it's coming in fast. There is the moon energy along with the stars. So I'm hearing the message that says, well, we can't see the stars unless there comes night. And with that Tower card, definitely those moments. I know for me in my life that we don't see the stars unless, of course, the sun sets. And so during this moment, it's going to come forward. You know, it almost brings to mind a situation also with my son. He moved into his first apartment some years back, and he got all moved in, and I don't know why this story just came forward, but I'm gonna relay it because I feel that it has been something we have even come back to. So he moves in, I go to his home and I decorate, I get him all set up. It was quite some months in the making. He had picked out all of his furniture, there were some delays. He gets moved in, I get it decorated for him because that's my history, is design, the goddess. I love beautiful things, and my son has inherited that beautiful goddess energy of having a home. And so I leave, and a week later he calls me and he's like, Mom, somebody on the top floor put a pan on the stove and they left the house, and all of the sprinklers came on. There is water pouring from my ceiling, and his entire home, 70 gallons a minute, was being gushed out. And him and the firefighters are pulling stuff out, trying to salvage everything. And I just remember this moment of my son saying, Mom, my home. And of course it crushed me so just to hear his heartbreak. And of course I wanted to step in and be that, let me save you, that mother instinct really kicked in. And I had to tap into knowing of his independence, that he could handle it. The faith that I said, son, just get your stuff out. I know that it doesn't look good now, but we're gonna work it out. It'll all work out. Just keep going, get your stuff out. And it did. It worked out beautifully. He actually got a better apartment than what he had before. Of course, he had insurance, so that took care of things. He had the wisdom to have a lot of things in place that protected him. So I inspire that for you. I'm getting that message. Do your due diligence to have. We don't want disasters to happen. We don't want our lives to be upheavaled, but we get to have the things implemented in our life for unforeseen things. And so tower moments are, I see that. I don't know why I feel that with this water energy, and even the moon that's just dark. And even to this day, he's had moments, and I reflect to him always and say, remember when water was falling from your ceiling and from the sky, it felt like, and everything was flooded? I said, even in that moment, which was a very extreme, I said, it's gonna work out. And it really does, and it always does. So stay the course. Everything with here, as far as it is, things will appear more clearly as you go. And it is that divine wisdom. There was a part of me even that I wanted to come in and save him. And my partner was very assuring with me, going, Jess, you can't save him. This is his journey. And, I thought about plane, car, get there, what can I do? And it wasn't mine. it was my wisdom to go in going, it's okay, keep going, you'll find your way. And the things that I could assist him with, that supported it getting better, was my role, but it wasn't to save him. And because he has the ability to save himself. And this was such huge learning. It was just, like I said, horrific in the moment of hearing his heartbreak of his home, because being a cancer, I totally resonate with that as far as it's my nest. And so no matter what you're going through, the message is you can do this. The message is that I believe in you. The goddess believes in you. Your higher self believes in you. And there's going to be this moment where you are just in all of your abundance of what you're creating and what you're going through, and you look back and go, yeah, that had to happen for whatever reason. Sometimes we don't know those whys, but it happens. So I'm going to read in, of course, the guidebook on these two goddesses for further clarification on this. But this is the energy. It's this, oh my gosh, it's Ten of Swords. I am completely struck down. And I know he had to, so they had to move all of his belongings into a temporary place. And then once they found him the proper apartment, they had to move again. So in that 48-hour period, he had to move 3 times. And so I know he felt like this in that moment. I remember when he FaceTimed me and he showed me everything in piles and dripping wet, and it was just pure chaos. To be 21 and going through that, I can't even imagine. So this was something that definitely has built some serious character and knowing, and an all-time kind of low for him to, when he goes through other things in life, to compare it to. And so I know in my life that those darkest moments, like when I go through a dark moment, it's still not as dark as those. And that is a beautiful thing, because in order for us to see the light and have that gratitude for where we're at and where we're going, those experiences are they're little nuggets of treasures, even though they don't feel like it in the moment. So this is something that you've either moved past or you're going through now. I'm seeing that right here, there's with the 6 of Pentacles, that because of going through this, eventually the message is to share in that, share in those experiences. When we speak of our stories and our lives, that's why reading is so valuable, is because we hear other people's experiences and what they've learned and what they've gone through, that we can see that we're not alone in those dark nights of the soul. And with the star, just keep that hope alive, keep the faith that it's going to turn around. And by seeking wisdom from ourselves, from others, from our knowing, from our experiences, because we are experiential, there's a lot of times in life it's the same thing, that I can tell my son something, but it's his journey to either to take some advice or see the light with where I've shined it. But it's up to him to be able to say, I'm going to trust in that, or I'm going to do it. And it's not wrong. It's his journey. It's your journey. So divine wisdom, that independence of also choosing your path, is so important, because we can't live other people's lives. I don't want my son living my life. I want him to live his. And that's something that I feel like even with this, and I see a few other things, like with the 3 of Swords in reverse, because this can also be just heartbreak. We have to choose our own way, and we have our answers. And we sometimes have to set off out like the fool and just do it our way. And it's not wrong. The message is here is you have your path. You know that. And even if it doesn't seem clear, usually when we get past a chapter of our journey of our book, we look back and go, yeah, I had to do that. There was lessons there I wouldn't have gotten any other way. And now, as we set off into another one, we have wisdom. And so that is where we can guide ourselves into perhaps not such huge tower moments, not so extreme. That is always the desire, is to do it better. So keep striving for that. The good that I see here is coming in fast. This could be something, we've had a full moon in Capricorn, which brings up a lot of old stagnant things. So we're moving away from that. I know a lot of people they felt that extremely deeply. And so we're moving away from that. I love the energy of this. It's fast moving. This too shall pass. So let's read these two goddesses for their clarity, their wisdom, and then you can take this along your day of whatever parts of this resonates with you, and how you can take this in your life and have that spark. There's a lot of wands here. This is fiery energy, and if you're a fire sign, this is amazing. We've been in a lot of watery we're in Cancer right now, so that can sometimes, especially for those fire signs, feel very emotional. Too much. So just breathe it out. We've got Aquarian energy here. We've got some air blowing your way to light that spark again, so you're not feeling so emotionally weighed down. So let's go to Sophia. I love her. She is so inspiring, because I know without me tapping into acquiring wisdom, you don't get anywhere. So okay, your empowerment message for the day from Sophia is human wisdom comes from personal experience, but divine wisdom is unknown to our life experience. When we ask for help, we are asking for guidance from a source greater than us, a great unknowable mystery. When we receive it, it is often life-altering and affects us in ways beyond our comprehension. The Gnostic goddess Sophia, who brought the material world into being, arrives to show you how fate and destiny operate in relationship to synchronicity. When you least expect it, opportunities and meetings spring up as if out of nowhere. Your life begins to work out and you sense your alignment with higher purpose and power. Trust you are divinely protected and directed. Practice the act of faith before results. This is an essential key in co-creating your world. The alignment message is, when you are disconnected from your higher power, you begin to believe that you are alone and are the only source of abundance in life. It is wise to commit to a conscious and deliberate daily connection to a higher power. When you forget to do this, you may place too much attention on materialism, work, money, goals, and the like. The goddess Sophia reminds you that this is a spiritual aspect and an invisible aspect, the essence of your desires that means more than form. You may be mistaking something false for divine guidance right now. It's time to come back to alignment and receive true divine guidance devised from the wishful thinking or ego attachments. Opening to the wisdom of the mystery of the universe is your alignment task now. Let the goddess Sophia guide you to your magic. The most meaningful and beautiful expression of yourself is waiting for you. So I love this because it goes right back to what we've been talking about, is not only looking for that magic, that Aquarian energy, it's to ask for it. Ask and you shall receive, right? And how I look for synchronicities is when I hear something from a different source, and then the next day or a week later, and someone's like, hey, yeah, have you read that book? And it's the same book that was mentioned before. There's something in it for me. And usually it's an answer to a question that I've had. So I inspire you. Ask questions to the universe, to your higher self, to your divine source, to your goddess, and ask her what you are missing. Ask her for signs. There's so much beauty. I love animals. Animals are something that show up in my life, little insects that I feel are divine messages of keep going. And they are. So same thing. If you hear the same message repeatedly, it's for you. Go take a peek at whatever that is and research it. Look it up. If you see an animal over and over in your life, look up what its spiritual meaning is for you, what it's bringing to you. So get aligned with your divine wisdom and be open to information that comes in all different ways. Okay, now let's go to Lilith for independence. And right there. All right, the Jewish goddess Lilith refused to be dominated by the first man, and as a result was called a demon in the stories about her that followed. These intricate and damaging stories are so old and repeated so often that no one recognizes how pervasive their implications are. From another perspective, Lilith offers this lesson. No one can prevent you from fully blooming, from learning all you can, from evolving and choosing freedom. Only your conditioned thinking can do that. Be proud, be accountable, claim your power, and hold it wisely. Right now, you are in an excellent position to attract healthy, interdependent, collaborative relationships that truly serve the highest good. Friendships flourish with mutual respect and support. Love relationships bloom with ample space for both parties to grow. Business ventures thrive in service to the greater good. The goddess Lilith wants to show you the way to claim a healthy self-worth and self-respect. By refusing to let your old stories keep you down, you will be amazed at how deep, meaningful, and respectful your experience becomes in all areas of your life when you make choices from a place of empowered independence. Do you sometimes fear being independent? You may have, this is the alignment message to clarify that. Do you sometimes fear being independent? You may have been conditioned to believe that the only way to have close relationships is to become enmeshed and entangled with others. Do you long for independence and breathe space, yet fear reprisal should you choose to detach from unhealthy companions or situations? You'll need courage for the alignment task Lilith asks of you. Walk away and establish a more empowered sense of self by saying no to these relationships that drain your very life force. Sometimes people attract drama into their lives to avoid accountability. That's a big one. Enabling this dynamic helps you avoid the responsibility that's required when you have no one else to blame for the conditions of your life. Other people's chaos becomes a smokescreen that muddles the real truth. Deep down, you're afraid of the consequences of taking charge of your life. However, all is not lost. You would not be here reading these words if you weren't ready or strong enough to make these changes. You are up-leveling your life. Lilith is beside you to lend the strength and courage to do the right thing for yourself and others. And so, going back to all of this and how it all plays into standing in our own truth, in our own independence. And it is scary, like especially with people leaving relationships and moving forward and being on their own, especially if they've been in a long-term relationship. It can be scary to do that. And then, we get to hold ourselves accountable for our own actions and our own life and our own story. And when we look back with wisdom at the relationships that we have enmeshed ourselves in, we take accountability for those as well. because we bring our own crap and drama into them as well, and unhealed tendencies, our past, toxic ways in which we were loved as children, and then we throw them into the relationship because we haven't healed it, and voila, we have a beautiful mess. So that is life. Messy, it's unpredictable, and it's beautiful, because when we now have the wisdom to look within ourselves and go, yeah, I sure created that, didn't I? Accountability is beautiful, and it's empowering. It's vulnerable to say, oh wow, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. And yet there is a part of you that does. So that way, when we finally realize this isn't working, the partners, the relationships, the friendships that I've picked, they are a reflection of me, then it empowers me and you to go into your life and go, okay, now how do I change this? Because that's transformative. That is life. You know, a lot of relationships or people in life, there's an energy out there that says, I've been who I am, I don't change. Well, I sure hope not, because we're here to expand. I never want to be the same person I was yesterday. I want to completely reinvent myself in every moment and do it better. When we stay stagnant, we just we're not moving in the universe. And we are on this amazing rock of a spaceship traveling through the universe, and it's always changing. We're always moving and growing. And then when you look at nature, it mirrors the same. I'm so excited and happy that you joined me here today, because this is my purpose, is to sparkle some light in this world, and perhaps in this moment, whether you're joining me with your coffee or your lunch or your dessert, and you are tapping into that beautiful energy and that ripple effect of changing the world by just increasing your vibration of light and love. And no matter what you're going through in a moment, that in community we are together. I am sending you all of my healing energy, that you've got this, just like I would do for my son and all of the people that I love, now including you, to take on your lives. You've got this. And if this has changed your life in just even the tiniest way today, I ask that you like, subscribe, comment, let me know what your thoughts and feedback are. I've been loving all the comments and feedback. So I hope to see you tomorrow, and see you tomorrow.